wish everybody a very blessed Yule, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, joyous Kwanzaa, happy everything. It's the holiday season, and I know for some people that's stressful. For other people, it's a little sad, and for a lot of people, there's a lot of joy to be found. One of my joys is reading for people, so I decided not to have a guest tonight and just do readings for folks. And I know there's a couple people already in the chat room. So before we get started, we're going to give you the call-in number, I just want to tell y'all about a couple of things. This is Arwen advertising time. If you have a writer friend who needs a book and wants to write a book, I have a 33-day email course that's getting really good reviews from the people taking it. And you can find out more about it at bit.ly/33write. And if you want a longer reading via email, I am doing 3-card readings via email for anyone who buys a downloadable workbook from a particular URL. And I will give you that URL in the chat room a little later. But if you do, or if you already have bought it through me and I haven't done your reading, contact me and let's get going on it. Now, I'm reading with the Dark Goddess Tarot tonight. It's by Ellen Lorenzi Price. It is published by Arnell Art, or we all know her as Arnell Ando of the Transformation Tarot. Ellen is also the creatrix of the Crone Tarot, or Tarot of the Crone. No, I don't have a copy yet. Yes, I'm going to get a copy. This is a deck that I picked up as part of they were gathering money to do it. And I thought, well, I love tarot decks. And usually I get tarot decks, I look at them and go, ooh, pretty, and put them away. Not this deck. This deck was, wow. So we'll see how this deck does tonight. And go ahead, and if somebody's ready to call in, we're ready to take your call. And I may have Eric help do readings because he is a tarot reader himself. He says he's only learning, but you know how I feel about that. You pick up the cards and tell the story, and you're a good reader. You ready for that, Eric?
Hey, I was born ready.
Uh-oh.
Got our first caller.
Hello, it's Arwen. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, Arwen. This is Kyla.
Kyla, hi, baby. How are you?
Hi, darling. I am fantastic.
For everybody that can't guess, yes, Kyla's somebody I've met before. Haven't seen her in too many years. But she is a beautiful, beautiful woman. And let's go ahead, and I'm shuffling the cards. Remind me of your birth sign. Are you a Pisces?
I am a Pisces.
Okay, I thought you were like me. So, what's your question, baby?
Oh, God. Organization is my question, really. I need to know how I'm going to find it or where it's going to come out or something along those lines.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and take a look. I'm doing mini readings, so they're going to be 1 to 3 cards. The first card, I'm going to hold them up, I hope you can see them, is Nemesis, the Ace of Air. Now, we know Nemesis as the word meaning our enemy. I think maybe I'm feeling some fear from you about organization. Nemesis, her message is discernment. Discern what truly needs to be done and do away with the busy work. So your organizational skills are fine. You're just taking on too much. You're looking at the whole room when what you need to do is look at one table. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense.
So it's just like, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Now I'm going to ask Eric if he pulled a card for you and what he thinks.
Well, I actually pulled 3. But yeah, the first card that I pulled was a Ten of Wands on the old Rider-Waite deck. So it's the guy, basically a guy carrying a huge bundle of sticks, looking down at the ground. So you're going to find your organization by hard work. There's just no other way of putting it. the second card I pulled was the Queen of Wands. The feeling that I get from that is, if you know the Queen of Wands, she's holding a single wand, which I think is just to remind her that it's going to take hard work. Is the story that I'm getting with this. And then the last card I pulled was a star, which just means once you get organized, look out. You're gonna take it off and run with it.
Wow.
Yeah, I really think that the Ten of Wands going to the Queen of Wands is really amazing, because the Ten of Wands is the guy who never learned how to say no to new projects and no to new things and just kept taking them on. The Queen of Wands, however, learned how to say, this is the one I will work on right now. So it's about focus.
Focus, that word.
Heard it before, have you?
A few times, yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, we're Pisces, darling, and clutter is kind of our bag. I'm working on decluttering right now, and it may involve a large tarot sale. So we'll see.
Well, there you go.
Thank you so much for calling in, and I hope you and yours are doing really well.
Oh, thank you so much for even doing this for me, and big hugs.
You too, baby.
Thank
Love
you,
you.
Eric.
You're welcome. Merry Christmas.
Love you too. Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.
That was so fun. I really haven't talked to her in years. So, and if somebody else wants to call in, I'm ready. I'm going to bury Nemesis in the deck so that she goes back of the center.
And I don't have my camera set up, but if anybody is curious, I am using the standard issue Rider-Waite.
Yeah, I really like that deck, and I often tell people when they're starting out, if you're drawn to another deck, fabulous, get the other deck, but also get a Rider-Waite and do comparison.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's some great decks out there, like the Steampunk by Barbara Moore is an excellent deck. And, but it's really nice to have one of the iconic, wow, my cards are jumping, but have an iconic deck to start with, because that really, for me, I think that a beginning tarot reader does best with that. And I see somebody's called in. I'll just stop talking. Who's on the phone?
Hi, this is Erica.
Hi, Erica. Erica is one of my Facebook friends. I don't think we've ever talked.
No.
Maybe.
No, we talk on Facebook.
I know that, and I'm pretty sure that's Erica, because she just said something on the show page. So, Erica, what's your question?
I would like to know about my love life,
Okay.
where it's going in particular.
Okay, and what is your birth sign, baby?
I'm a Pisces.
Another Pisces. It's going to be fishy night. Okay. Well, let's pull and see. Ooh, Ereshkigal. This is the Seven of Earth. Ereshkigal, at least that's how I say it, lays in a layered tomb. She's coming out of it, but the Seven of Earth is about gardening, and it's about pausing with some hard work. This tells me that you've been doing some personal weeding, if you will, of working on yourself and trying to, make sure everything with you was doing really well. Are you in a relationship right now?
I was in a 3-year relationship that I left a couple months ago.
Okay, is that the work you've been doing, the weeding out and kind of clearing stuff out? Because that's a lot of what this card is about clearing. It's the gardener card in the traditional Rider-Waite, and it shows the guy paused and waiting, and he's waiting for the harvest.
Yeah, basically, and more like inward, like working on myself as well.
I just pulled 2 more cards. That would be 2 more. Sorry. 4. One's a help, one's a hinder. The hinder card, we're going to look at this first. It's Lethe. Lethe is the 4 of water. Now, the 4 of water is a card that a Pisces can really understand, because it is the card of feeling sorry for oneself. Mm-hmm. We fishy girls have a tendency, when we get sad, we wallow. We don't, we're not ones to just dip in the water of our sorrow. We're going to dive right in and just have at. And I think that's actually very good. Get it all out, let it all go. It's also a card of understanding that what's gone is gone and what's left is good. So focus on what's left. The card that I love, the helper card, is Blodwed. She is a Celtic goddess who is made of flowers, and she is the 9 of Earth. Erica, this card in the traditional Rider-Waite shows a woman very well dressed. She usually has a hawk on her arm or an animal, and she's out in her garden. The garden, again, becomes very important here in terms of this reading, because the 9 of Earth is her out enjoying what she's grown, enjoying the work. Enjoy what you've done for yourself. Enjoy the personal work you've done. You know, and really, yeah, and love life. Right now, this shows me that you're still in the work phase. Mm-hmm. That maybe that Mr. or Ms. Right. I always read gender open because I never know what any. Well, not true. I don't assume who you sleep with. So, but that partner is definitely coming towards you. But what they're going to see is a woman very in charge of herself, very capable, and really at a point in her life when she's like, well, I guess if you're going to add to my life, you can come along for the ride. But if you're not going to add to my life, step back.
Yeah, that's a point that I'm trying to get to really, really bad. So the point where it's not something I'm looking for, you know, but I want to know that it's possible. So I'll have someone.
Absolutely. You're not going to be alone. That's absolutely not going to be your fate in life. You will absolutely have a life, and I actually see you with children. So I don't know if that's on your plate or not.
I have 2 children already.
Okay, maybe that. Yeah. Is it a boy and a girl?
2 boys.
2 boys. I see you with a girl, so hang in there.
Oh, good. That's something I always wanted, so.
And Eric, what do you see from Miss Erica? Erica. I'll just add an A.
Erica, I got a question for you. How you doing? Merry Christmas, by the way. Have you?
You too.
Has it been stormy for you, relationship-wise, recently?
Yes, I mean, the 2 most, the longest relationships I had were very stormy. This last one was as well. So.
Well, the only reason I asked is the very first card that I pulled was the 3 of Swords, which is on the Rider-Waite deck, is a heart with 3 swords going through it.
Yeah.
So I was just curious about that. Second card that I pulled, which would be present time, was the 4 of Cups, which is also just a picture of a guy sitting under a tree with 3 cups on the ground and 1 being handed to him by a cloud. Is the easiest way to describe it. But I pulled that card reversed. To me, what that says to me is there's somebody waiting for you, but it's going to take you making that first move. That person's not waiting there. You're going to have to make the first move towards that person, whomever they be. I agree with Arwen. I try not to read for sexual orientation. You get in trouble that way. And the last card I pulled was the World, but the World was also reversed, and that just means your world's going to seem upside down until you make that move. So I think you have somebody in mind. Don't be scared. Don't be afraid to go for it. Don't be afraid to go for it.
Awesome, thank you guys.
Does that help, Erica?
Yeah, it helps a lot. I'm really glad I called in.
Awesome, me too. And happy upcoming birthday in February and March.
Thanks, you too. All right, I'll see
sweetie.
You on Facebook.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye. And it's always interesting to me when we get the same card because the 4 of Water is the 4 of Cups.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty strong message for Erica. And she's a beautiful, beautiful girl. When she puts pictures of herself up, I'm just like, wow, she's so pretty. So she needs to remember that, Miss Erica. But yeah, she's not going to be alone.
Yep, and here we go. We got another caller. Hello, caller.
Hey, who am I
Hello.
speaking with?
This is Ruthie.
Ruth, hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. Now, we've never spoken, but we've talked a lot on the internet.
Yes, we have.
If this is the Wood Dragon Ruth.
Yes. This is the Ruthie from Jersey. How are you?
I'm good. She's one of my writing buddies, y'all. So that's, we've chatted for a couple years now.
Yeah, so I'm not a writing buddy. I'm Ruthie from Butch Fun.
Oh, you're a different Ruthie. The other Ruth
Yeah,
is
but
in
we are
the
Facebook
chat
friends.
room. No, I
Right,
know
yeah.
who you are now. How's your aunt
Yep.
doing?
She, well, she's in transition. It is
Okay.
what it is. She's here,
Now
she's
I've
there.
got the right Ruthie in my head. What's your question,
Yeah.
honey?
I was just wondering about a job for the new year. I'm really trying hard, but it's hard to know what direction to go to.
So you want to know what kind of job to look for, or what the best job is for you, potential?
I just want to, yeah, I guess, yeah. I mean, there's so many different things going on with me, and I can't do my old job, so, I'm looking into the spiritual stuff and doing Reiki and all of that stuff, but, where my actual, 9 to 5 pay the bill job is going to be, I don't really know.
I call it my insurance payer.
Right.
What is your birth sign?
Pisces.
Another Pisces.
Yeah, another Pisces.
Wow, we have a whole school. Okay, let me get these cards shuffled, and we're going to pull. Well, you get the Four of Earth, and this is represented by the Sphinx.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's an interesting card because that's a card that I would associate with somebody who's really good with numbers and budgeting and helping people focus on what they need to do and focus on their own, kind of not like an office manager, but more like a financial officer, going in and bookkeeping and keeping people straight in terms of numbers is what
Wow.
that feels like.
Okay.
And then the two cards I pull, I get Athena for the Two of Air, and Ereshkigal shows up again. She's very bossy tonight. The Two of Air. And this is your help card, which is an interesting help card. Let me move my hand out of her way. The Two of Air indicates that you're going to be looking at two jobs and not one.
Yeah, I already work a part-time job, but that's, that could be.
So I think that this is going to be too focused because the Two of Air is balanced. It's this way, and they don't have to meet. But you're the fulcrum. You're the beginning, the whatever that thing is called. I'm not really good with physics. But it may be that your energy work is going to start building because that's what the Seven of Earth feels like to me here. Ereshkigal, again, is the gardening card, the card coming up through the layers. She is bringing herself up and out. So there's definitely hard work here, but some work you've already done. You've already done something, and this may be going back to someplace you've already worked, and it's going to be with, you're going to laugh. Do you remember the Carol Burnett, Tim Conway routine where she's the secretary and the little man is her boss?
Oh, yeah, Mrs. Huygens, yes.
It's Mr. Wiggins. That's
Mrs. Huygens.
amazing. That's who the boss looks like to me, or gives me that image of. So I don't know if you had somebody in the past that you did like even spot work, or just went in and did some cleanup where somebody else had left a mess. You may want to turn back to that and kind of shake those cages and get some networking going.
Okay.
Eric, what did you get from Miss Ruthie?
Well, evidently in my deck tonight, it's all about wands, which means it's all about work. The first card I did pull was the Six of Wands, and on the Rider-Waite deck with the imagery that's there, it shows a horseman holding a staff with a wreath on it higher than the other five. But it is a group type effort. Do you have, out of your particular interests that you're curious about, do you have one that you feel like you stand out from the crowd with?
Yeah, well, the healing, definitely.
Okay, well, the reason I ask is The second card I pulled is the King of Wands. So we go from this group of wands to a single wand, but a very, very powerful, very good wand. Okay? Third card I pulled also was the Lover, which means whatever you decide to do, you're going to have a lot of passion about.
Cool. That's what I've been looking for.
So I think you've narrowed it down to choices. And I think you're gonna make the right choice, and I think you're gonna make a choice that, like I said, you can remain passionate about for a long period of time.
Awesome. That sounds terrific.
Super. Ruthie, thank you so very much for calling in.
All right. Thank you, Arwen. Thank you, Eric.
You're
Have a
welcome.
great Christmas, guys.
You too.
You too. Merry Christmas.
Bye-bye.
I just want to say real quick too, everybody, we can only take one call at a time. So if we're on a call, I just have to decline your call. That's why. If you tried to call and haven't come through, that's why.
So we're practicing patience.
Yeah. And of course, this time of year, everybody knows how much patience is out there. Go to any shopping mall tomorrow and you'll see patience.
Oh my goodness.
You might also see a shooting, a stabbing, a mugging, but you'll definitely see patience somewhere in there.
Joy. We're only talking about joy. Yeah, I work in tech support, and so people have been they've been handling their stress poorly.
Yeah, I would think tech support this time of year could get a little rough.
We'll just say very poor stress handling. But we get through it. Is anybody else ready to call in?
They can now.
Yes.
You got any special plans for the holidays, Miss Arwen?
My stepson is coming in from San Antonio tomorrow, and we're going to spend Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and a little bit of the next day together. So I've got the makings for Christmas. My mom always did a Christmas breakfast casserole. Only time of year we had it. And she claimed it was so that we could all get up and drink mimosas, so we'd really enjoy the presents when we finally got to them.
Well, the mimosas were just the Christmas lubrication then.
Yeah. And so I'm making it because I haven't made one in a long time. Mom died about 11 years ago. So it makes me think about her, so it's making me happy. And even because sometimes Case can't make it because he has to hitch rides. Even if he can't make it, I think, I'm going to make myself a Christmas casserole.
There you go.
So, and I'm spending it with 5 lovely dogs, 3 cats, and a partridge in a pear tree.
You know, partridges are actually quite difficult to get a hold of. Well, I think it was a couple of years ago, I remember reading somebody actually added up the entire total of that song monetarily, and it was like $150,000 or something outrageous to add everything all together.
Oh, my word.
Yeah.
I'm going to look and see. Kyra says that her patience is running thin as she looks for her birth certificate and passport. So is anybody going to call in? Is the other Ruth going to call in? Since I thought that was you? Look, the number mysteriously pops up. It's like magic.
It's a Christmas miracle.
So, Eric, do you have any other decks that you use, or is the Rider-Waite your only deck right now?
Only deck right now. I've seen, because he's been on several shows, I've seen, I believe his name is Eric Dunn. He did the Tarot Illuminati.
Illuminati.
If I can ever see that deck in person, I got a feeling I'm going to end up probably wanting to have that one.
Well, I wish I'd known. I could have brought that deck to read with tonight. It's at the house.
Yeah,
I just got it.
The artwork, the foil work. From just the pictures I've seen, it's a pretty deck.
It's luscious. It really is. It's very, very luscious. The first card I saw was the Queen of Pentacles, and I almost cried when I saw it because it was just so intense to me. So, really love that.
Yeah,
and I see that we have Tinker Dixie Belle. I don't know who that is. And Chris is in.
Yeah, you guys can either call in with the number there, or it's, no wonder, 615-692-1262. Or ask it in the chat room. We'll catch it either way.
Yep, we're here for you. This is our Christmas gift to everybody. Free readings.
Yeah, these could cost you thousands of dollars if you weren't here on the show right now.
Hi, Jean. If you want to call in or if you want to put your question in the chat room, please do. I know, it's like a voice from beyond reading the chat room. Thank you, Ruth. Ruth says she appreciates the gift. Oh, you're in the chat room, so you can see it too. Sorry.
You're very
Is
welcome.
Santa going to bring Eric something?
I got deaf, La Santa Muerta. So yes, you're going to get a really cool, groovy, creepy gift that's going to knock your socks off.
Okay?
The
How'd I
death
do?
card.
Because that's generally all I need at Christmas is socks and underwear. Generally.
Oops.
No, I think you can get it something kind of cool and creepy.
Okay.
When the Santa de la Muerta shows up.
The claws of death.
No, she's the saint of death. I like to call her the midwife.
Ah.
I brought you into this world, and I can take you out.
And make another one look just like you.
Right? What mother hasn't used that threat? With one of these, I can make as many of you as I need.
There's a lot of fathers.
You're welcome, Ruthie.
There's a lot of fathers that have used that same Bill Cosby quote.
I love Bill Cosby.
I like Jello.
Ruth has a question. How will things go on the writing front for me next year? Ruth, you're a Taurus, is that correct? She's one of my Taroscope followers, so I'm pretty sure she's a bull. Yep, she's a bull. Okay. Well, I have a jumper, so we'll pull that out.
Wow.
Okay, Miss Ruth. The first card I get is the Eight of Water. Is that upside down? No. And it's Sedna. Sedna is one of the Pacific Northwest. She is a seal goddess. Some changeability going on with your writing. You may find yourself changing your skin, basically reformulating who you are as a writer and what you like to write about. You may have been writing for the market, and you're going to, I think, move away from that, maybe write for Ruth. The other cards that show up are very, very good cards for a writer. The Ten of Earth, that's a card of community. That tells me that you're going to conferences. If you don't have some lined up, get your pencil out and mark off some days on the calendar when you can go do conferences, do mini retreats. This is community. This is working with other writers and getting yourself really entrenched in the writing community. The other one is Arwen, the Ten of Air. Now, Arwen is one of my very favorites because the Arwen are a group of goddesses, and they have lovely names like Mass Destruction, Breath of Death, Poison Water, and what is the other one? Mass Destruction? Yeah, just really fabulous, fun little names. But the Ten of Air is a card of how quirky can you get? How offbeat can Ruth go? How far afield of this is what we're writing this year can you go, Ruth? You're a Taurus, so that's really challenging for you. My best friend and writing partner, Kay, is a Taurus. So, that's what I think you have to ask yourself in this. Eight of Water is about really getting emotional and shifting what it is you're writing about, shifting how you think about writing. Mr. Eric?
Well, first card I pulled again was the World card, also reversed, which gives me the impression that, Ruth, you've had trouble, you've had a lot of irons in the fire and a lot of stuff going on that has interfered with your ability to focus while you're writing. just what I'm getting. Second card I pulled was a 5 of Cups. And, you know, there's in the Rider-Waite, there's 3 cups turned over and there's 2 that are full. That tends to tell me that you've also had trouble focusing on what you exactly wanted to write about. You've kept trying and knock a cup over. You try again, you knock a cup over. You try again, you knock a cup over. But you still have 2 cups. So keep knocking the cups over. And the last card that I pulled was the Ace of Wands, which means once you get going, good things will happen. But you have to do the work to get yourself focused, to get back on track, to produce the greatness that you are capable of.
And one thing I would say about the knocked over, as a writer, I'm going to say that Ruth has at least 3 unfinished manuscripts that are stuck at the point of sagging middle and talking heads. And it's the writer's curse. We get to the middle of the book and we're like, I don't know where these people are going. I'm just going to put this aside and come back to it. So it's a blessing and a curse because you can always come back to them. So Ruth, how did you feel about that? I'm asking her in the chat room. There may be more than 3. I don't want to talk about how many started stories I have. I had a great idea this morning. I won't tell y'all where, but you may know where. Of a man working in a kitchen and hearing a woman yell, "Geraldine, it's cold again. Stop it." And he finds out that the woman has sat down on the toilet and it's very cold because the resident ghost sat on it right before she did in order to chill it out just a little more than necessary. So.
Wow.
And Ruth does have a convention. Yay! Good. So maybe I'll get there. Does anybody else want to call in? We do have you can call in, or you can, Kylie, you actually can ask more than one question. Let's get a little further down and make sure nobody else wants to. I'll ask 3 times, and if nobody does, then you can call me back. How's that?
You're very, very welcome.
And Jean said that she or he is calling in. Perfect, she says, the kitty cat.
So while you're waiting, how's that for a messed up birthday?
I just saw that. Your cusp, that's a hard cusp. Because part of you wants to go out and organize and make everybody march in line, and the other part's like, well, let's just go over here.
And she's not. The part of being Aries is she gets a little hard-headed about some things sometimes.
Oh,
too.
no.
Never.
But I've got winter and spring. I've got fire and water.
It's a nice mix. I know somebody who is a Taurus Gemini, one of the most amazing artists I've ever met in my life, but tells stories that start out with, I went to the store to buy fish, and I saw my neighbor, Mrs. Brown. And by the time you've ended the story 20 minutes ago, you've gotten a recipe for fish. There's been a trip to Sweden involved. It's insane. But they're fun stories. Jean, are you calling in now, dear?
Yes, I'm on the line.
I didn't see it. I'm so sorry. Hi, Jean, and I don't think that you're somebody I know. Is that true?
I think you do know me, but not real well.
Are we Facebook friends?
Yeah, and I also was on the Tarot Guild.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you. This isn't Jean Morey, is it?
Yes, it is.
I thought I recognized that voice. I've listened to you on the radio, on the Blog Talk before. Y'all, Jean Morey does excellent readings. She's has a, I don't know if you still have your show or not, but that's a fun show.
Yeah, and I'm not on the Tarot Guild show anymore, but we have Maggie Bukowski and I have our own show, almost a year now, called Personal Empowerment for Your Soul. And we're going to invite you on.
Well, thank you. You know I'd love to come. I met Maggie on the Gaian Circle, I think. So, I have a terrible memory with how I know people, but I know people. So it's like, when I meet people in person, I'm like, do I know you from Girl Scouts high school or what?
Yeah.
Hey, Arwen, would you restart your camera, please, ma'am?
Uh-oh. What happened?
It wasn't you. It was a Skype deal. It just did. If you could restart it, please.
Am I back?
You're working on it. There you go. Da-da.
So, Jean, what is your birth sign and what is your question?
I am a Taurus also, and I have 50 years of journals, and I'm trying to decide whether I want to write a memoir or want to put it into a blog, or I'm just not quite sure what to do with them.
Okay, so you said 50 years?
Yes, I started in 1963.
I was just 2 years old then.
I already have a blog started, and I blogged about the Kennedy assassination. But I'm not sure where to go there. Who's interested? Who cares?
Well, let's see. Well, I get Demeter, 5 of Earth in the Dark Goddess. And she is, of course, the mom who's lost her daughter. And for me, that story is less about the mom who loses her daughter and more about the growing up relationship that a mom and daughter have to come to. At some point, they have to separate and become individual human beings, right? So that somehow, something about that is in this very, it feels like a tulip. I don't know where that's coming from.
I can tell.
Please.
Yeah, a lot of my journals are about my separation from my mother emotionally. I don't know whether I want to actually put that out into public or not, but a lot of my journals was about fighting with my mother.
Well, it may be. Let's go and look. Let's see what the help card and the hinder card is.
Okay.
Interesting. The hinder card really makes me go, what? It's the Norns, the Weirds, the Fate Sisters, and it's the 3 of Earth. The hinder card is looking at a committee or a group decision or getting, like in a community blog. That doesn't seem like the best place. And then you get Ran, the Hag of Water. The hags in this deck are the kings. They are the eldest of the courts. They're all female. She does Amazon, Siren, Witch, Hag. And I love hags, right? I'm over 50. I'm all about hags. They're wonderful creatures because they don't give a shit. But here, the Hag of Water, look at all of this. There's emotions and tempest, and she is all about directing and showing it where to go. That really feels to me like putting it into a memoir and getting it published, getting it out there. The community thing, the 3 of Earth, feels like a blog to me. And I hate to say that because I love blogs. But I think you can blend it. I think you can do dribbles and vignettes on the blog while you work on the main book itself. And the separation of mom and daughter is a huge thing. I don't know of anybody who had, even my mom and I were best friends. But we had a pretty spectacular parting of the ways that we healed from. But, so maybe what do you feel about that?
I like that idea. I think maybe it could help people who are having trouble separating, feeling guilty, like I shouldn't do this. I owe my mother. Right.
And remind me to talk to you about Snow White when we're off air. There's something I want to share with you about Snow White that I think is going to mean something. Eric, what did you get for Jean?
I think the cards for me focus more on the part of our question she asked if anybody would like it. The first card I got was the Ace of Swords. Basically, is a sword with if people don't know, it's a sword with a crown on the top, and it has it looks to me to be fresh garland or a fresh olive branch on one side, and a older branch on the other side. That to me, and since it is reversed, you've put in the good work. The journals that you have are full of very helpful, good, focused information. Okay. Second card I got was a Seven of Swords, which is basically a guy at a circus having a blast. He's holding 5 of the swords, and 2 are already in the ground, which means he does have some foundation. He is learned to master the swords where he doesn't necessarily have to carry all of them. But the last card, which is the one that is the kicker for me for this particular question, is the Seven of Pentagrams, which is basically a gentleman with a stick, with a staff, staring down at the pentagrams which are growing on vines, which means it has become time, to me, I take it as it has become time for you to harvest your fruit, so to speak. So go for it. Make a memoir, whatever your heart directs you to write, whatever style, but do it. It will help people.
Thank you.
So awesome. I can't wait to read it.
Thank you. That's encouraging.
Very good. Thank you so much for calling in. I'm very honored that you would call in. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, and I'll get in touch with you about the radio show.
I hope you do. And have a very happy holiday.
Same to you both.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Bye.
Bye. And do we have anybody else who'd like to call in?
There was one call that I was just denying if they'd like to call back.
Try again.
Do you have any funny, like, lick a cold pole type Christmas stories that ever happened in your youth?
The best Christmas story I have involves a Yule ritual, a garage, and a large, about 25 of us had gathered, and we were inside because it was chilly. We were in Denver, and we had tied the Christmas tree because it was tilting, so we tied it to the garage door. And then we were writing our wishes on pieces of paper and putting them in the cauldron to flame up and, burn our wishes up. Just put them into the solstice fire. 2 of the members wrote their wishes on tinfoil wrapping paper. Tinfoil tends to burn in a very different way, and it just caused this huge amount of flame, and the South Guardian, our fire guardian, comes in, and he uses a fire extinguisher to put out the fire, which of course causes this billowing smoke. We're all choking. They open the door, but the door backdrafts in, so it just pulls the smoke in. I hit the garage door opener to get the garage to go up. Yes, indeed. Half the tree and half the ornaments go pooh, and shoot ornaments at everybody as we go running out into the night. I know the neighbors thought we were just insane because we were howling with laughter. But that's probably my best Christmas story.
And we do have a caller. Caller, you there?
I am.
Awesome. And it looks like a Colorado. Was that a Colorado area code I saw?
It is Colorado.
I thought I was going, okay, I'm talking about Colorado. I see a Colorado number. Woo!
Is that a good thing? Bad thing?
Who are we doing? It's always a good thing. Who are you, please?
My name is Susan.
Hi, Susan. Nice to meet you. Have I met you?
You have.
I am terrible at this game, aren't I? Do I know you as Susan?
Yes.
Damn it.
I was a manager. That's all I want to say, because I don't know who all is listening.
Oh my God, that's why your voice sounds so familiar.
Yes.
Oh my God! No, I was thinking, wow, she sounds just like, but no. Yeah, she has one of the best phone voices ever, y'all. She should be doing, one of those lines. So what's your birth sign?
It's Aquarius.
Aquarius. Yeah, okay. That sounds good. We work together. We talked on the phone a lot.
I know.
Okay, what's your question, baby?
I broke up with a boyfriend a few months ago. I've stayed in touch because I kind of wanted the relationship to work. The last few weeks, it's been getting kind of weird to where I think he may be seeing someone and not telling me. And my thing is, if he's seeing somebody, I just want to back out of it and not be that other person. I'm just not like that. And it's just starting not to feel good anymore. And I guess that's my question. Is he seeing somebody else? And do I just need to kind of back out of this situation right now?
Okay. The card I pulled first is Aphrodite, the Siren of Water. So what this says is that even if there is somebody else, there's something about you that really pulls him. There's something about him about you that he finds nurturing and enriching and comforting.
Very much so. Yes, very much so. You're absolutely right.
But at the bottom, I do think there's something going on where he's getting pulled. Because look at the bottom here. Can you see those two dolphins going either way?
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, there's something pulling. And I don't know if it's another person or if it's moving. It almost feels like going somewhere else, like being in a different place.
Uh-huh.
Amazon of Water and Hag of Air. Okay. Amazons are the knights, and this is the Knight of Water, and her name is Scylla, and she is I believe, a storm goddess. If I'm remembering correctly, Scylla is one of the storm goddesses. So that's the hinder card. That's the very emotional uproar, and that feels more like him than you. Feels more like he's more prone to being emotionally, cray-cray.
Okay.
And then Dhumavati sits on the other side. She is the Hag of Air, and she is an Indian goddess. And if you look, she's in a self-propelled cart. She's going where she wants to. There's nobody pulling that cart. There's nobody telling her where to go. The Hags are kings, the Amazons are knights, and the Sirens are queens. So you've got courts here.
Okay.
He's pulled to you, but there's something emotionally disruptive in his life. And it may be, does he have kids? Does he have a teenager that's causing him grief?
No, I know there's been a girl they've hung around with a couple times from work, and I got to act like a friend. And she's bad news, and I think she wants to get out of her living situation because she's living with her father, sister, and sister's boyfriend, and she hates it there. So I think she's trying to pull at him to be more than just friends, just to get out of her situation. Does that make sense at all?
It does, and that would make sense about this whole tempest going on, this whole emotional...
Yeah, and I'm just wondering, should I just back out of the whole situation? It's like, if I don't contact him, he'll contact me, and it just keeps continuing, but it's like a treadmill. There's no forward motion. And I'm stuck. I feel stuck.
Yeah, honey, I'm going to say be the Hag of Air. Be the one going your own way, going where you want to go and doing what you want to do, which you do anyway, right? I mean, that's not something foreign to you. But if he's attracted to the Siren of Water, and look at the differences between these two cards, right? We've got the calm Aphrodite, and then we've got the cray-cray Scylla, right? She's stirring shit up. She's always stuff going. But you need to do your own thing. You need to say, yeah, I do think you need to say to him, well, not even to him, but to yourself, okay, we're going to leave Mr. A here. If he wants to come here, which is the new path and the new focus for me, welcome to come. But for now, he needs to, don't don't make room for him right now. He has to come in and request your presence. He has to treat you like a queen, right?
Okay.
And he can't continue to treat you like the woman
Whenever he feels like it.
Yeah, the woman who's available.
Right. My other, in the same vein though, do you see him and this girl either in a relationship or getting into one? Like, is he going to suck into her mess?
Okay, that I won't read on because that's looking at two other people.
Okay.
And it's not looking at you. So is it better to focus on you? Because whatever they do, you know. But Eric, did you pull cards for Susan?
I sure did.
What did you get?
You want to know what they are?
Yes, I do.
The first card that I pulled was the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords in the Rider deck is a woman blindfolded and bound with all 8 swords in the ground around her, which just to me, I have the feeling that you both had a kind of undying affection, an unquestioned affection for each other, simply
Absolutely.
because it was a blind faith kind of deal. Now here's where the honey gets a little sticky. The second card I pulled was the Devil, and not necessarily a bad card. But in the Rider-Waite, there's the Devil with his clawed feet sitting on top of a box with a loop in the front of it, and chained to it are a man and a woman. Okay, I took that to mean that you guys are basically you were reacting to your urges. You were chained to your human urges to get together. Okay, that's how I'm taking that. But the other piece of symbolism on the card that's important is both the man and the woman have tails. The man has a tail of fire, the woman has a tail of grapes, with a bunch of grapes on the end. Well, that becomes hugely important because the last card I pulled was the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is sitting on a throne with a robe made of cloth that is covered in bunches of grapes. So I'm going to take that to mean that there may be other energies of a female nature involved in the situation, and I would be very, very careful around the situation. That's the best advice I can give you. Okay.
And very, very careful. I mean, I'm actually at the point where I'm debating whether just to stop all contact.
I'm not. That's a free will choice that you would have to make. I can't sit back here and tell you to do that.
Okay.
I would just tell you to trust in your own intuition. Empower yourself and trust in your own intuition.
That makes sense. All right, then. All right. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. It's good to talk to you. I always love hearing your voice.
Yeah, and I'm going to actually Facebook you some. I don't know if I know exactly who I am, but I think you've read for me over the phone before.
Yeah, because I now remember doing that reading. Once I hear somebody's voice enough, it's like ding, 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 motorcycle. And
okay.
So
thank you so much. I don't want to take up anybody else's time, so thank you so much.
Bye, sweetie. Merry Christmas.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Wow, that was so cool. I knew the voice, and I'm like, why do I know the voice? But yeah, we worked at the same place, and we did a lot on the phone, so.
Right.
Okay, y'all. Well, we are actually at 6 minutes till, so if anybody else has a quick question, let's do it in the chat room.
Yeah, and I think it's important, too, have you noticed this year that there are, at least in my little damp corner of the internet, there have been a lot more people expressing a happiness with Yule or having Yule greetings this time of year. And I think that's very cool. That people are starting to acknowledge I don't want to say the true meaning of, but the true foundation of the holiday.
Yeah. I haven't heard anybody yet welcome in Mithras, but yeah, for me, and I tell people, they're like, "What do you celebrate?" I celebrate the joy of the season. Mm-hmm. It's the return of the sun if you're pagan. It's the return of the sun if you're Christian. You just spell it differently.
Yeah. Cuddlebug Cat did have a question in there. She'd like to know where to set up a full reading. Where can people go to set up a full reading with you?
Oh, baby, just go to tarotbyarwen.com. Let me give you that. And you can schedule a reading with me. And I have a scheduler up, and it's a little flaky because I'm flaky. The second week of January, I won't be doing readings because I'm getting married. I'm eloping to Las Vegas. Very quiet, very private. Can you tell? We're eloping. But come visit me there, baby, or hit me on Facebook, and I'll give you all the information that you need. You can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Tarot by Arwen and the number 1. Thanks, Jean. And you can always get your tarot scopes done. Every week I do them. So you can see them on Tarot by Arwen on Sundays. You can follow me at Tarot Scopes on Twitter. And that's only on Sundays that I post from that one. I think it right now is tweeting my daily posts, but your tarot scopes are done each week, and people seem to really enjoy that. So I'm babbling. So anything else, anybody? No? Somebody says they came in late and had to dart back out, and that was Lissa. Sorry to miss you, Lissa.
Come back next Monday.
Oh, and next Monday, that's what I need to do. Next Monday, I am going to have a shaman healer. Her name is Vadavi. She is from Jamaica, if I'm remembering correctly. And she's going to be talking with me about how she incorporates her shamanic practices in healing and how she uses that to help others. So I'm pretty excited about it. She contacted me to ask to be on the show. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun. No, I don't think. I know we're going to have a lot of fun with her next Monday. So join us next Monday on the 2030th? The 2030th?
The 2030th, yes.
Arwen can count. And we will have a grand time then. And until then, guys, as always,